Contact us to avail the combo offer of General Studies and Public Administration optional with 20% discount.
Hello friends, welcome to Lukman IAS. Today we are going to have the Hindu analysis of 29th June 2021. Let us see which are the important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Yes, these are the important developments. Let us take overview of all these articles, then we will discuss them one by one. First article, yes, a case of no case, as well as the second article on page number 6, both article on page number 6 editorial, the law of sedition is unconstitutional. So, one of the filmmaker from Lakshadweep have been charged with the sedition charges under section 124A of Indian Penal Code IPC, and that is why it is in news. The analysis again very important from GS to paper polity part. What is the issue, what are the issues involved in the section 124A sedition charges? So, we will discuss them from polity perspective. Next, Attorney General Venugopal gets one more extension. So, yes, Attorney General, particular position, law officer of the country. So, why we have written this from the mains section here? Because in 2019 mains examination GS2 paper, there was one straightforward question for 15 marks on Attorney General, its powers and functions, right. So, yes, that is why we have written this in mains examination, some provisions regarding Attorney General, this particular constitutional provision position you need to be aware about, as well as yes, this question can be asked from the prelims perspective also. So, both mains as well as prelims perspective we will take input here. Specifically for prelims examination, these are the developments. Ukraine and US launch Black Sea drills. So, naval exercises by Western powers along with Ukraine in Black Sea to have some kind of deterrence towards Russia that is going on at present. So, yes, what is important for us is the bordering countries with this Black Sea. So, mapping section, we need to understand Caspian Sea, Black Sea and Mediterranean Sea, some bordering countries as well as Middle East countries. So, mapping part from this perspective is very important for prelims examination. We will take input accordingly. Next, nuclear capable Agni Prime missile test fired from the test launching pad in Balasore, Odisha by DRDO. So, what is this nuclear capable Agni Prime? Some basic features from defense technology perspective, science and technology. In that defense technology perspective, we have to take input for prelims examination. Then P. Sainath selected for 2021 Fukuoka Grand Prize. Now, what is this Fukuoka Grand Prize? Why P. Sainath, the noted journalist, was selected for his contribution? What was his contribution? So, this is miscellaneous aspect we can take input here. And recently Finance Minister, Union Finance Minister announced a 6.28 lakh crore stimulus post second COVID-19 wave. So, what this stimulus package involves, we will take a brief overview of that part also. And lastly, some COVID-19 developments at national and international stage and practice prelims MCQs that we are solving on daily basis from today's current affairs, right. So, yes, let us go into details of all these articles one by one. First article, yes, on page number 6 there are two articles, one editorial on left side and one independent article written on the same issue, sedition charges, right. So, the context here is that the sedition case against Lakshadweep filmmaker Aisha Sultana. Let me tell you what happened in this particular case is that Aisha Sultana, she has written, or we can say criticized against the changes in quarantine rules in Lakshadweep by administration. Okay, so the visitors to Lakshadweep Islands, they are not supposed to go under quarantine, and this is supposed to be the reason for increase in cases of COVID-19 in the Lakshadweep Islands. So, this is being criticized, and some harsh words were used by Aisha Sultana in criticizing the administrative decisions regarding this quarantine for COVID-19 patients or visitors to Lakshadweep Island. This is the context. Okay. So, sedition charges. What is this section 124A of IPC? Let us go to the basics now. Okay. Why was she charged? Just now we looked into, but basics here, section 124A of IPC. You need to understand, this is a colonial era provision. This was added in 1870 when this IPC was being framed, right. So, Indian Penal Code, this is actually to muzzle the voices, criticism of British Indian government at that time by Indians or Indian leaders, we can say, right. So, there are many such cases, infamous cases we can say, like Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Gandhiji and other noted journalist leaders, they were booked under sedition charges before independence during national freedom struggle movement, right. So, you should know the background. Now, this section 124A of IPC exact provisions, actually it has 4 charges, 4 different charges of sedition. First, we can say written words, second speeches, third any different signs or symbols like cartoons or something like that, and fourth visible representation. Right. So, any kind of, let us say, gestures, any kind of gestures by the person. Now, when these leads to incitement of violence by people against government, this is called as sedition. This is called as sedition. Now, why this particular provision was added at that time? The intention at that time was very different. Surely, the colonial era that focused mainly on ensuring law and order in the country or their own colony. Okay, and muzzle the voices, or we can say freedom of speech and expression was not given to the people, right. However, what was the reason for continuation of these charges, or we can say this provision even after the independence, is that again to ensure law and order in the country and stability of the government, stability in the administration, right. So, this was the focus. However, you need to understand that this particular provision now goes against Article 19(1)(a) provision, Article 19(1)(a) provision of Indian Constitution. We all have learned about this fundamental rights in Indian Constitution, and Article 19 includes 6 such freedoms, a right to freedoms to the people of the country, and this first, that is A, talks about freedom of speech and expression. Now, very important civic right to the people in any democratic country, right. And this particular provision goes against this fundamental right. Why? Because if the people are not happy against for the, let us say, government policies, they have right to speak against those policies. And whenever law enforcement agencies find that there is some kind of chances of incitement by the people against the government because of such speech or writing, then they can be charged with the section 124A of IPC. That means this goes against. One more thing you need to understand, that article 19(2), which contains reasonable restrictions for freedom of speech and expression and other such freedoms which are given in article 19, these does not include the sedition charges. Explicitly, it does not include the sedition charges. That means the Constituent Assembly discussed this particular provision of sedition to be included in the reasonable restrictions, however, it was not included. That means even the makers of Indian Constitution did not consider this good, or we can say reasonable restriction for freedom of speech and expression, right. However, later on we have to understand that Supreme Court in Kedarnath Singh case 1962, Supreme Court in Kedarnath Singh's case, we can say, affirm the constitutionality and legality of section 124A of IPC. However, it has read down this section and said that only written and spoken, or we can say speeches, which may result into violence against government, then only the sedition charges should be invoked. Okay, so that means the interpretation was very strict and narrowed down, right. So already the provisions were very vague. Now there was a strictly, let's say, written and speeches which has the possibility of resulting into violence against the government, then only the sedition charges should be invoked. However, we need to understand that law enforcement agencies from time to time has not adhered to these provisions, or we can say judgment of Supreme Court. Okay, Supreme Court did not struck down this provision. However, we can say the interpretation of the provision was very strict and narrowed down. However, it is not adhered. Again, in Vinod Dua case recently, in that journalist case in 2021, recently Supreme Court has reaffirmed the constitutionality of this section 124A. However, it directed all the governments to follow the judgment of Supreme Court in Kedarnath Singh case, that is this provision. However, it has not, let's say, decided to re-examine the provision by the higher bench, okay, or the larger bench. Fine. So what are the issues that we need to understand why the particular provision should be struck down? Just now we talked about it goes against civic rights, that is here article 19(1)(a), freedom of speech and expression. It is again against, or we can say goes against democratic ideals, right. Freedom of speech and expression is very important in any democracy, and we know that any democracy survives by dissent, right. So democracy by dissent is very important tenet of any democracy. So that's why such kind of sedition provisions, they goes against democratic ideals. Along with that, we have to also understand that any kind of criticism, the government should be tolerant and inclusive towards criticism rather than muzzling down the voices of criticism, right? So, you should provide these arguments. You should provide these arguments. Along with that, the Constituent Assembly debates wherein such kind of sedition provision was not added as a provision of, we can say, reasonable restriction. Now, from time to time, this government has, we can say, this provision was survived. Why this provision was survived? Because the reasonable restriction provision of order in the society, public order in the society. This particular provision was invoked as a reasonable restriction against freedom of speech and expression, and that particular law, or we can say this provision, was part of this reasonable restriction of public order. This public order, this is the provision in the reasonable restriction, and this was invoked, right? So, you should be aware about all these issues and what kind of question we can expect here. Discuss the issues involved in the application of section 124A of IPC by law enforcement agencies in India. Now, many times students find it very difficult to write way forward or conclusion whether we should take stand which is against the government or something like that. Here you need to understand, from time to time many such, let us say, pronouncement or judiciary has asked to take a very cautious stand on the section 124A, and many legal experts have also advised that judiciary should re-examine this provision and the larger bench should look into this re-examination of this provision, right. So, that is why you can write such conclusion, okay. This is a right stand to be taken, fine, okay. Now, moving on to next article. Yes, Attorney General Venugopal gets one more extension, right. So, yes, the context is this one. Now, we need not to go into, let us say, how much extension and what is that, that is not important. The Attorney General of India, this is constitutional position, and you need to understand what kind of question UPSC already asked in the mains examination. The Attorney General is the chief legal advisor and lawyer of the Government of India. Discuss. For 15 marks, UPSC mains examination 2019 GS2 paper. Now, many students while appearing this examination, they were confused why this question was asked for 15 marks, what to write for 15 marks, right. So, 250 words, how to write 250 words for such small, let us say, a piece of information that students generally prepare for prelims examination, right. So, this is how UPSC surprises the civil servant aspirant, civil services aspirant. So, you should be prepared for such kind of, let us say, questions. Now, we need to prepare this for both mains as well as prelims examination. Some important provisions, quickly we will look into these provisions. Article number, article 76, there can be match the following type of question in prelims. On left side in one column there will be articles, on right side the provisions in that article, very traditional and standard question. Okay. So, very important. Article 76 talks about Indian Constitution provides for Office of Attorney General of India. He is the highest law officer in the country. You can see here, the lawyer of the Government of India and chief legal advisor. Let us understand that part when we talk about the powers and function, but first of all, appointment, term and qualification. He is appointed by the President. He must be the person who is qualified to be appointed as Judge of Supreme Court. Okay, Judge of Supreme Court. Now, we know the qualification for to be appointed as Judge of Supreme Court. So, yes, that means he must be citizen of India, he must be the judge of some high court for 5 years or advocate for some high court for 10 years or an eminent jurist in the opinion of President, one of these provisions, right. So, the person is qualified to be appointed as Judge of Supreme Court, then he is eligible to be appointed as Attorney General of India. Then the term of office of AG is not fixed by the constitution, and that means he enjoys the office during the pleasure of the president. President can remove attorney general at any point of time. That means the term or tenure is not fixed. Now he may also quit his office by submitting resignation to the president. Right. Then remuneration of AG is not fixed by the constitution. He receives such some remuneration as president may decide. That means constitution has not fixed the salaries and allowances. Neither the parliament decide, rather president decides all the remuneration and all these things. Now the duties as a chief law officer of Government of India. You can see here in the question itself, chief legal advisor and lawyer of the government, the chief law officer. Let us try to understand what are his duties. Now this should have been written in that answer. To give the advice to the Government of India upon such legal matters which are referred to him, to perform such other duties of legal character assigned to him by the president, discharge functions confirmed by the constitution or any other law. The president has assigned the following duties to Attorney General on behalf or in addition to above duties: to appear on behalf of Government of India in all cases in Supreme Court in which Government of India is one party, to represent the Government of India in any reference made by President to the Supreme Court under Article 143 of Indian Constitution. Right. So that means advisory jurisdiction of Supreme Court. Right. Then rights and privileges. So while performing these duties, Attorney General of India has some rights, immunities and privileges. Which are these? Very important. Attorney General has right of audience in all courts in the territory of India. That means he can be present, that his presence cannot be denied in any court of India. Right. He has a right to speak and take part in the proceedings of both the houses of parliament and their joint sittings, or any committee of the parliament of which he may be named a member, but without right to vote. Without right to vote. That means he has no right to vote in any committee or even in the houses of the parliament. However, he can take part in the proceedings. He has a right to speak also. He enjoys all the privileges and immunities that are available to the member of parliament. This is very important. As he is taking part in the proceedings, he has a right to speak also. That's why he enjoys all the immunities and privileges. Along with that, the Attorney General is not full-time counsel for the government. That means he does not fall into the category of government servants. Along with that, he is not debarred from private legal practice. That means along with the, let's say, being the lawyer of the government, he can be also doing his private legal practice. Along with that, he is not member of central cabinet also. Right. So these specific informations are important for prelims examination. You need to have many revisions to remember all these points. Along with that, you should be also preparing for Solicitor General and Advocate General of States. Right. So this is the important position, constitutional position you should remember about. Now, Ukraine-US launch Black Sea drills. The name of this naval exercises that are going on in Black Sea, Sea Breeze drills. You should remember the naval exercises that are going on between different countries, navies of different countries in different oceans, because this is important for prelims examination. Now you should be aware about the recent developments. Such kind of, let's say, drills are being carried out just days after British Royal Navy's HMS Defender passed near Russian annexed Crimea region in the Black Sea, with Moscow, that is Russia, saying it fired warning shots at the destroyer to ward it off. This happened in last week. Earlier we looked into these developments, right? So we have to look into this Crimea particular area and Black Sea region. Let us try to understand this map now from geography mapping perspective. Yes. First of all, this is the Black Sea. You can see the narrowed down version and then zoomed version, right? So this is Mediterranean Sea. You can see this is Mediterranean Sea, this is Black Sea, and this is Caspian Sea. This is Caspian Sea, this is Arabian Peninsula, and then we have this Arabian Sea on this side, right? So now when this is zoomed in, you should also remember the bordering nations. Bordering countries for Black Sea, first of all, we have here on this side Russia, then we have Georgia, coming down here we have Turkey, then on this side we have Bulgaria, right, Bulgaria, and then we have Greece also on this side, right, then Romania, Moldova is not there, right, Romania, and then we have Ukraine. You can see here the Crimean Peninsula. This region was annexed by Russia in 2014, which attracted many sanctions by US and other Western powers on Russia, right. Crimean Peninsula. This was earlier part of Ukraine, and that's why the conflict that is continuously going on, Western powers are continuously supporting Ukraine against Russian aggression in this region. Now you can see the Black Sea region, this Black Sea Ocean. One more point you should remember here is Kerch Strait, which joins the Sea of Azov with Black Sea. Sea of Azov with Black Sea, right, this is the strait. Then one more strait you should be remembering, the region Sea of Marmara. Now this Sea of Marmara is the small channel which connects Black Sea with Aegean Sea on this region, okay, Aegean Sea. Now you can see here again coming back, this small sea is Aegean Sea, which is again the marginal sea of Mediterranean Sea. Okay, this larger one is Mediterranean Sea, this small region here is Aegean Sea, and this Aegean Sea is connected to Black Sea through Sea of Marmara. Remember these names, Sea of Marmara. Simultaneously you can look into your own atlas also at home. Okay, you should be remembering all these locations of seas and straits, how they connect with each other. On the right side you can see here there is Georgia, and then there are Caucasus Mountains, you can see here, and the Caucasus Mountains actually are like this. Okay, that means here you can see Caucasus Mountains ranges, Northern or Greater Caucasus and Lesser Caucasus Mountains, and they connect with Caspian Sea like this. And then there is Azerbaijan and Armenia are located along these Caucasus Mountains. Azerbaijan and Armenia, the conflict recently in last 1 year that was going on between Azerbaijan and Armenia. If you remember this, we discussed this in the Hindu analysis, right. So Caspian Sea, Black Sea, and in between Caucasus Mountain, Azerbaijan, Armenia. Try to remember these names, right. So okay, so this was about the mapping part. Now you are aware about this, fine. Yes, moving on. Nuclear capable Agni P, that is Agni Prime missile test fired from Balasore, Odisha, and this was developed and test fired by Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO. Yes, range, this capability, range capability 1000 to 2000. You need to remember the range of missiles which are being developed and test fired. It is canisterized missile. Now canisterized missiles actually reduces the time required to launch the missile while improving its storage and mobility. Along with that, the accuracy was very good after this test fight. This is very successfully test fired. These missiles will be mainstay of Arihant class indigenous ballistic missile nuclear submarine, SSBN. SSBN, right. So ballistic missile nuclear submarines, and at present INS Arihant is the only SSBN in service. That means you need to remember that there is only one SSBN category, INS Arihant, and this will be placed on this INS Arihant, this missile system. At present, INS Arihant is armed with K-15 missiles with range of 750 km. That means this is upgraded technology. This is upgraded defense technology, right? So Agni missiles, Agni Prime. Earlier we have seen that Agni 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So Agni 5 had the highest range. This was also called as intercontinental ballistic missile with range of up to 5000 km. Intercontinental ballistic missile, Agni 5. This was also successfully test fired, right? So this is how you need to remember all the basic information about new defense technologies that are being developed and validated. Fine. Moving on. S. P. Sainath selected for 2021 Fukuoka Grand Prize. Okay, this Fukuoka Grand Prize is actually given annually to distinguished people to foster and increase awareness of Asian cultures and the exchange and mutual learning among the Asian people. So such kind of framework, those who are creating this framework. So P. Sainath, he is given this grand prize this year for creating the new form of knowledge through his writings and commentaries on rural India and promoting civil cooperation, for promoting civil cooperation. Okay. So yes, this prize was established in 1990 and up till now 11 Indians have received Fukuoka prize so far. Okay. So this information is sufficient. Yes, UPSC will not ask such trivial facts regarding awards or something, but some of the important awards in Asia region as well as at world level, right? So for Nobel Prize, Pulitzer Prize or such kind of Fukuoka prize, right? So you should be aware about these developments. Fine. Now government unveils rupees 6.28 lakh crore stimulus post second COVID wave. Now we know that economic stimulus is very important at present because of economic contraction that is going on in the country and it has slowed down the economic growth. For stimulating economy, such growth stimulus package by the government is very important. And what are the important provisions? Rupees 50,000 crore credit guarantee for new and ongoing projects outside metro cities, interest rate capped at 7.95% for health sector lending, right? Such kind of, let's say, public projects for, let's say, pediatric care, ICU beds, oxygen supply. Yes, it may not be visible for you, I am reading, that's why all these provisions. Yes, then again COVID hit sectors, especially like emergency credit line guarantee scheme for to be expanded by 1.5 lakh crore rupees. Then 25 lakh small borrowers to get guaranteed cheap loans worth 7,500 crore through microfinance institutions, MFIs. Fresh loans to 11,000 tourism agents and guides to resume work. So tourism sector is going to benefit a lot. Along with that, EPF SOPs for new jobs with salaries less than 15,000 per month. This is to be extended till March 2022. Free tourist visas for first 5 lakh visitors. This is being announced. That means the major beneficiaries will be health sector and tourism sector. The major beneficiaries will be health sector and tourism sector. You should be aware about these developments from economy sector. Now COVID-19 related developments, one of the study by Oxford group which developed AstraZeneca vaccine says that 2 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine administered 44 to 45 weeks apart generated nearly 4 times the level of antibodies than when the doses were being administered 8 to 12 weeks apart, says the report by Oxford Vaccine Group, the developers of it. That means at present the time gap is generally between 2 to 3 months When it is expanded to 1 year almost, then there will be 4 times antibodies to be produced. Now this is going to be a revolutionary approach in future. Okay, so we'll have follow up on such kind of studies, how they are going to bring changes in the vaccination policies all over the world. A higher dose of Chinese vaccine CoronaVac was well tolerated and safe and induced neutralized antibodies responses in children and adolescents up to aged 3 to 17 years. A study in the recent edition of peer-reviewed journal Lancet Infectious Diseases has stated. Right. So at present, many such clinical trials and studies are going on for checking efficacy of different vaccines on the children and adolescent age group. Okay, so this is earlier we have seen Pfizer and Moderna. Now CoronaVac Chinese vaccine has been proved successful and efficient for children in 3 to 17 age group. Fine. Now let us try to solve this MCQ. Yes. So such kind of questions UPSC is asking, and many a times when we do not have exact information, very simple. If you go prepare mapping part on daily basis for prelims examination, at least dedicate half an hour for mapping part. Open your atlas and daily look into one page, one continent, political and physical maps. Daily try to observe different physical features. You will surely get benefit in prelims examination. Every year they will be asking question from mapping part. Which of the following group of the countries share border with Black Sea? Now just now we looked into different countries. There were countries like Ukraine, there should be comma here actually, Russia, Bulgaria, Turkey. Yes, all these 4 are bordering with Black Sea. There is no need to go into, let's say, other options also, but you should be aware that Iran does not border with Black Sea. Again here the option is Iran, here again the option is Iran. This is how we can eliminate the options. Actually Iran is having border with Caspian Sea. If you know this, you should be very clear then how Iran would be having border with Black Sea. Surely you can eliminate these options also. Fine. This is how we can approach to these questions. Yes. So these were important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. For further information regarding the foundation batch for UPSC 2022 examination, next examination, those students who are exploring their career options in civil services and just now completed their graduation, this particular course is very apt, and the thorough, let's say, coverage of syllabus for both prelims as well as mains examination is done under the guidance of Ansari sir and the team at Lukman IAS. To know more about that course, you can contact Lukman IAS. Thank you.
Contact us to avail the combo offer of General Studies and Public Administration optional with 20% discount.